Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a look here again at Solana. I have my playout chart here up just so you can kind of see what's going on and kind of where we had left off earlier today. Basically two case scenarios. We either bounced off this previous support at 127, continue back up, Bob's your uncle, all good. Didn't happen. Bitcoin had another agenda, 52,500 a day when it tested 57,000 not a few hours before. Okay, so again, Bitcoin was on a tear to the downside. Therefore, the second potential play out here worked out pretty well. Price dumped all the way down as low as $119.99. It's almost uncanny how often you see candle wicks at specific round numbers. Exactly why you want to take profit before or after, depending on the direction you're heading. But more importantly, at this point, what we want to look at is potential for reversal, but also just what's going on. We see a lot of volume here. Does that mean anything? And where are we at with the overall big picture? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear this out here and see what we can do on the backend data. First of all, we're going to start with liquidation levels. And when I was talking to my community about this, there's really no liquidation at all left to the downside. Like everything's completely swept. So any potential longs just completely got destroyed. So anyone using leverage is basically out of the game here unless you got in like 15, 30 minutes ago. Okay, so that's generally the consensus there, which basically implies we have more room for upside than downside because the whales are just kind of like, we're done screwing people over, right? We're going to just go ahead and pump it up and effectively continue to push the price action higher so everyone can FOMO in later and we'll go ahead and smash the top again. Anyways, that's a conversation for another day, but what we want to look at here is, fib levels. We can do some macro fib levels just to kind of be on the safer side. But more importantly, at this point, I think with us getting closer to the candlestick closure, there's a solid chance that we could actually draw this out here more so for the local range. Just kind of see where we're at, because again, that 119.99 is essentially the new bottom. And we're going to probably see some resistance in the 0.5 to 0.6 fib levels. That's 128 upwards of 130. Okay, so again, a good secure profit target would be in that range, just because that's a natural area in which the price will reject. Once more, I usually like to draw fib levels out after the daily candlestick is closed, but in this case, it's kind of okay because I think the probability of us raking back down to the low 120s again is pretty low because that was an area of support. Let me explain that. Okay, so take a look at the daily time frame. My community members were asking me kind of just for some examples here on macro. We've got this previous resistance and this resistance range at about 120, 121. So moving forward, if you see, we've had multiple attempts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now 7 attempts to break that level. It's definitely looking like that's going to be a solid support for us here. At least that is the solid support for the moment. We keep retesting it here soon, might be a different story altogether, but I think 121/120 is a good little support range for us for the moment. Okay. Having said that, nothing is going to be bullish at all in the daily time frame. We're not going to see anything good, right? We're bottomed out on our TSI. Our RSI is closer to 30. Generally speaking, hitting 30 is a bouncing point, so it does imply we could see further downside. So I don't want you to get in your head that we're just going to blindly go to the top or go back up. But the truth is, a little bit of a relief rally would make sense, and we're kind of already seeing that. Okay, Bitcoin running back towards 54K, and we can see 125 to 127 is a likely next area here for us here. But again, look at these candles. This is just obnoxious. I mean, that is a lot of volume, folks. Good news is we still see that volume when the price is giving us a hammer doji candle. Okay, generally speaking, that's a positive sign showing that all the selling pressure, we're finally starting to see some buy pressure. Okay. Anyways, everything else is pretty much bottomed out here too in the 4-hour. There's nothing really to see here either. It's just kind of garbage, really. When I look at this, I'm like, okay, great. that's fantastic. I do not want to buy this coin. But again, truth is, buying the dip close to that macro support was a good call. I know we had a couple of community members, thank you, Anna, I think it was, and a few others that took some longs at 120 to 121 after shorting all the way down there. So very good job on that. And at this point here, we can kind of see this little box is a key area of liquidation. So just kind of touch on that going back here. 135 to 140, there's a lot of liquidation. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to see that right now, but what we can presume is that when we hit 130, we'll probably see a rejection initially. Or more importantly, 135, we'll see that rejection. So this could very well be, again, this is very early, but a lot of times you'll see cup and handles play out like this. Okay? They start this way essentially with previous resistances that keep getting retested and eventually broken. We kind of saw the inverse cup and handle too as well in Bitcoin not too long ago. Either way you look at it, that's just kind of where we're at here for the moment. But we do have a point of control at 132, secondary to that 130. So once more, if you're in a long, consider securing profits between 127 and 130. That's really the bottom line here, because of the way that these fib levels are kind of lining up. They're aligning themselves pretty well with the volume too, and that's something you definitely want to pay attention to. So hourly time frame, if we look at Ichimoku Cloud, we know what's going to come here. There's no reason to consider a long position or a short at this point. Actually, to kind of recap on that, technically short is still in play. If you have a short open, you could probably keep it open and still have a lot of luck. Depends on the overall perspective though. If it's a day trade or a shorter term time frame, you're probably going to be SOL, no pun intended, because the price is likely to continue higher for the immediate foreseeable future. But distant foreseeable future, we're still in a macro bearish trend, right? So we got to presume the price will continue lower overall. So until we can break that macro trend with some range-bound activity or maybe some higher highs and higher lows, we have no reason to consider a long position, if that makes sense, right? Something you're going to hold for a longer period of time. Because right now, at this point, the direction is down. There's no other way around it. Having said that, hourly time frame, let's quickly look at the TPO here for today, which is 130. That kind of reinforces that resistance at that level. Really no consideration to take, to get super greedy on a long if you're going to plan to take one, right? So secure some profits while you can. That's just kind of the name of the game right now. I'll go ahead and post our updated playout chart on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I do appreciate you watching. We'll go ahead and get this updated here for you shortly. It does look a little something like this if you're not familiar. And it's all available for you there. All right. So again, don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, very last thing, I forgot, totally spaced it. Make sure you reference BTCC. It's a good exchange. They've been around actually from the get-go since like 2011. They're phenomenal, compliant, nice little demo trading options too. It's just a secondary alternative that I like to provide to my community members for no KYC or VPN. Okay. Again, still a bit Unix family, but BTCC is a good close second. Yeah. Heads up on that. That's available for you. Nice deposit rewards. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.